All right, guys, coming off of a really, really crazy card last weekend, we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk a little bit about the Conor McGregor card, obviously the knockout in 40 seconds over Cowboy Cerrone. What were some of your instant takeaways from that fight?
Well, honestly, like first of all, I want to address the card. Like, I don't think it was like very a great card. It was kind of like it made me question life as a UFC fan once again with all the fucking events they have and like every event's like 6 hours if you want to sit through the whole thing. I'm not bitching or anything, but like think about it. Anybody that's like super into it, who's gonna fucking spend 6 hours every Saturday almost of their life? Like, don't you have anything else to do? So honestly, the way I felt was like by the time the Conor fight got around to, it was like probably after midnight, like 12.
It was, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, bro! Like I was watching it with a friend. I'm like, yo, like get here, fight, like start fighting. Like I don't want to hear Bruce Buffer, no more Joe Rogan, nothing, bro. Like just play the fight, you know. So and the way it finished, I felt like it was so anticlimactic based on the whole fucking, 6 hours of you watching fights and the build-up expectations of Conor being away for so long. So I don't know. I mean, I liked it in a way because it was a nice finish and all that, but from another perspective, I think it was like a disservice to Conor because I think he needed more time in the ring or in the octagon just to test himself out. Because like, oh, now you spent 40 seconds and then you gotta fight fucking someone else like Khabib or some shit like that, and you gotta have to last like 5 rounds or something, and you don't know still if you can last the 5 rounds with a beast because you haven't been tested that way.
It's true. I mean, he came in there, he took care of business very, very early. Donald Cerrone froze after some shoulder strikes. Everyone's talking, oh, he was training it for so long. Like, guy, like, it doesn't make a difference how long you've been training something. You can go to the woodwork as long as you'd like. Applying it to a fight and making it effective is something to not be scoffed at. And
it was amazing.
using shoulders very effectively. I really, and that's somebody who's using the frame that they were given really well.
Got broad
He's
shoulders.
very, very broad.
Yeah.
And mobilizing those shoulders to come up and explode into the
Why
nose.
wouldn't you, bro?
Cracked a guy who, last time we saw him, his eye ballooned up. He went and hurt that orbital bone, broke that nose, went in there straight,
Right.
dug in there with the shoulders hard, 3 hard strikes, and he was dazed.
I'd be surprised more people don't use shoulders like he does.
Everyone, it's what's really funny is you hear guys like Kevin Lee kind of like be like, oh, that's unimpressive, like whatever, shoulder strikes, and like Jorge Masvidal said, those would be love taps for me, like that ain't doing nothing to me. It's like, but
Well,
I
this
guess
is
your
talking
head,
shit, but-
maybe you wouldn't put your head there, but he's been training that, and if someone clinches standing up like that, they're gonna get drilled, and that's going to hurt. If you know how to throw it, it's going to hurt.
I think we're gonna see a lot more of it now that he kind of opened up the everybody's
Revolutionizing
eyes to
that
it.
game
Yeah.
a little bit
No,
more.
for real though. Like think about it. It's almost like a fucking fist. If you do know how to fucking time it, like throw it, and you got like a solid muscle right here, and I mean there's bone underneath it too.
Oh, 100%.
So why wouldn't of course it's gonna hurt, bro. How do fucking rugby players and all that tackle each other with their shoulder, right? Like whatever. So you can generate a lot of power that way, no? So yeah. So whoever fucking doesn't think this is whatever. I think the fighters that are talking shit about it, like Masvidal or whatever, they're just talking shit to like tease him or whatever.
100%.
Trying to build up for the next coming fight with Masvidal. But realistically though, you can definitely hurt someone with your fucking shoulder, bro. Like I don't see how you can even doubt that. Like
100%. Like, I mean, and to go beyond that too, I mean, yeah, we saw 40 seconds, but we saw a different mentality coming from Conor before this even started. And I think that a Zen Conor is the most dangerous type of Conor.
Bro, did he have Tony Robbins in his motherfucking
He did.
corner?
He has Tony Robbins as a life coach.
Oh my god, that's because I saw like someone that looks like Tony Robbins, and I'm
It
like,
was
I
Tony
thought
Robbins.
I
He
thought
was
my buddy
talking about
like
it to
jokingly,
Ariel
I'm like,
Helwani.
oh look at this motherfucker got like a Tony Robbins lookalike on set, and then it turns out it's really him.
Yeah, he
bro.
was talking to Ariel Helwani about that. I was actually dying. He was like, "Yeah, so he's a little bit of a guru for you." He's like, "Oh yeah, he's a life coach, like
Tony Robbins is insane, man.
That's
So-
crazy. I love that Conor's a lot more calm and well kept together, and he's not being fiery like before. I think we're seeing a little bit more of a maturation of Conor, if you will. He went through a very accelerated version of what John Jones kind of had to deal with.
That's true.
In terms of top to bottom. He made more and had more legal problems, serious legal problems, in a shorter amount of time than John Jones did. It was just condensed into 2 years.
And his success was a lot greater than John's.
That's what I'm saying. Higher highs and quicker and a steeper climb too.
Look, man, I agree with you 100% about like him being zen now and like has a very professional attitude, at least in his fight with Cowboy. My question though is, and I don't want to be a hater, but like when he does end up fighting, let's say Masvidal next, and you know they're gonna talk shit. So when he ends up fighting Masvidal, when he ends up fighting Khabib,
right?
And he still has like bad blood with Khabib, and he's still like.
I think the emotionality with Khabib is the most dangerous thing.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think the only person who triggers that is Khabib. I don't think Jorge Masvidal is gonna be. Jorge is gonna come up with funny shit, and Conor is gonna come up with funny shit, and that'll be it.
Like
you know
like the Mayweather shit.
Like
kinda.
you haven't beat him, so he's and like that was psycho Conor talking to Khabib, but there's still that real hate. Like Jorge and him at the end of the day would shake hands. And we know that. Whereas Khabib and him, if they saw each other in the street today, it would be an on-site thing.
So that's what I'm saying. Okay, with Khabib then, if he faces Khabib
I'm worried about that.
Is he going to get emotional again? Is he going to get crazy again? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's ready for Khabib yet. He needs to fight again and again. I mean, he just needs to fight, get in there. I think he needs to fight Gaethje, and he needs to fight Masvidal
I don't
first.
think he's getting Gaethje. My true opinion is that he's never going to fight Gaethje.
You think he's never going to fight him?
I don't think so.
I think he's going to fight Gaethje at some point.
Well, not in the next year or so.
Maybe not, but maybe not in the next year, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I think him and Gaethje will go at it at some point.
Maybe later on, but definitely not in this year, not in 2020.
If Gaethje gets what he deserves, which is...
If I'm not hating, I love Gaethje. I think he definitely deserves it. But I'm thinking he's just like that dude that is going to get like a little shafted by the UFC and kind of put to the side just because of like the big fights that can be made, like the money grab fights. So what do you want to see the most next? Mine's obviously Masvidal.
Jorge. Yeah,
Masvidal,
I think most people want to see Masvidal next. That would be fun. Two beasts that like to stand up and
Masvidal
strike.
all day. I think if you don't make this fight now, this is gonna be a missed opportunity.
Honestly, I think Conor's got a lot to prove here too. To like not against Masvidal or anything, or even Gaethje for that matter, but against wrestlers like. He's got this thing where people are talking about he can't, like, you know, he's going to get taken down and get murked. But I just think that there's a little bit of a, so see, when someone gets overhyped, people want to get off of that train quickly too, just as quickly as they got on. Yeah. People want to get off.
Those are not real
this
fans.
Guy's this, yeah, exactly, like bandwagoners. Yeah. And I think that's the key is like, what I'm hearing as a hot take is like Conor can't do this or can't do that against grapplers. Like Khabib's a world-class grappler. Like, what are you going to do, you know? Diaz is a world-class grappler. Like, what are you going to do? Like, at the end of the day, if the creme de la creme are the ones that catch you when you're tired and you're not like, again, you're fighting emotional, you're fighting with a lot of energy, you're trying to knock them out first thing and it doesn't work out, what's going to happen? We've seen that recipe before. Then what happened when Conor paced himself? He grinded out a victory against Diaz. Something that people said, well, it was a split, it was this, it was that. At the end of the day, it's a W. And like, he was competitive. Against Khabib, this is the biggest narrative I don't like, he was competitive. He wasn't
he was competitive. No, I'm not denying he was. But he did get his ass whooped, though.
He got his ass kicked. When he lost, he lost. When he was tired, he was tired. And when he was done, he was done.
Yeah.
Like, he tapped. You tap.
And again, I forget who. I think we've talked about this on previous episodes of our podcast, but I remember hearing, I think it was Firas Zahabi or someone on the Jerry podcast, where he said, yo, the cardio thing, all that shit is kind of genetic, bro. Like, so... Conor, as much as he like,
yes, it was Firas Zahabi. Yeah,
I think so. So you know what I'm saying, and I do believe that because I've seen it with people. Like I know people that like just gifted cardio, like a lot above you or whatever, just based on how they were like born. So I think Conor's got like this handicap when it comes to his cardio, where he's very powerful. We see that with his knockouts and he's very explosive. Even though he's kind of like a skinny guy, but whatever. He's very explosive. And now that he's bulked up more, I don't see him going past 3-4 rounds the way... I mean, yes, he lasted with Nate Diaz, but there was a couple of moments against Nate Diaz in the second fight where he was like definitely extremely tired,
Fatigued and had to go find a second and third win, for sure.
Exactly. So, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't see... That's the catch with McGregor. He's amazing. He's explosive. It's kind of like the Tyson thing almost.
Yeah.
Effect.
You gotta beat him early. And the thing is, he's a world-class finisher. as we've seen, like anybody who's trying to stand with him and not threaten to take him down has gotten destroyed.
Yeah, man.
Name a striker who's outstruck Conor McGregor. Anybody who dared to stand with him, even for a moment. Great wrestlers, like guys that are able to chain wrestle and do things like Poirier. You got murked.
Yeah.
You got your head clatted off the canvas.
Yeah.
Like he was smaller then, but it just is
big
what
ass
it is.
fists when you look at his fists and shit.
So
just
Conor's got a great, and he's like one of the best strikers ever. I think I really think that needs to be like he's one of the most dynamic. He used to do those wheel kicks. It's no need for the wheel kicks now. He's just so crisp
the fucking
with the normal
kick.
Techniques, like regular techniques that have been practiced hours and hours and hours on end, and like you can see the work of his craftsmanship.
I'm super impressed with his performance against Cowboy. Cowboy, unfortunately, we saw the side of Cowboy.
What do you think's next for him? What do you think's next for Cowboy?
That's such a hard question.
3 finishes now.
They're gonna give him some shitty fight again, like someone like lower ranked. I'm telling you, because he's had a few losses in a row now or something. You know, like he's not done so well lately. So I think they're gonna fucking toss him to someone else, and because he won't want to like stop fighting anytime soon. I don't think, at least for the next 3-4 years.
He doesn't want to stop fighting.
I don't see him stopping. So I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, and I don't know. I don't know what I don't have like.
I think it might be almost time for him to hang it up.
And he's fought everybody.
You just got the payday. You never were able to win the big fight. You got finished in 40 seconds in this round of it. Like, the biggest fight of your life. And he was saying that at the press conference the day before. Everyone says, Cowboy don't show up. Cowboy don't show up. We'll see what happens in the biggest fight. And then what happened? 40 seconds. You landed 0 of 1 strikes in 40 seconds. Yeah. You got destroyed. You engaged in a clinch, and he destroyed you in the clinch. And then, I thought Cowboy had an advantage in the close clinch like that. How foolish was I for saying that last time? So, I mean, at the end of the day, when I hear guys like Stephen A. Smith, when they were like, oh, we didn't learn anything from this fight, I'm like, Joe Rogan was looking at him like, actually, we learned a lot. Like, Conor's back. He's here to fight. And he's like, don't strike with this guy. Mm-hmm. Like, guess what? If your strength is striking, don't strike. That's why we want to see Masvidal. Gaethje's not as interesting to me because Gaethje would just get slept. Gaethje would get slept.
Probably.
He's a zombie.
That's right.
Who's eaten a lot of damage.
He's gonna eat, yeah.
And Conor would a brawler versus Conor.
It's true.
What?
Yeah.
Like, technical striking is different. Jorge Masvidal isn't walking forward and going like a zombie. Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz, for that matter, both of them, I was a slip of the tongue, but either of them really, they could walk forward like zombies. They don't care. They can eat damage. They can throw a bunch of punches with not a lot of power, and they just keep hitting you in the face.
Yeah.
That's different when you're walking somebody down.
For sure.
Gaethje's walking people down, but Conor's not going to get clipped by some guy swinging for the fences on him. Look what a crisp technical striker like Aldo did when he was brawling for 10 seconds in that fight with Conor.
That's right. No, precision.
Oh, it's a flash knockout. Flash knockouts don't prove anything. But when you get a flash knockout and another knockout and another knockout, it gets to a point where you're like, wait.
Yeah, man. It's just the precision is for sure like gonna be a huge advantage over like people like Gaethje. So yeah, man. I don't know. I think. What do you think? Is he gonna end up fighting Mayweather at all?
Ooh, interesting question.
What do you feel about that shit? Is it
I
possible?
think a Mayweather rematch would make sense. It would break Marciano's record, I think, or did he already do that?
50. I think he broke it.
He already broke it.
I think so.
He did the 50th already, right? Anyway, so just tacking onto the legacy, why not for Floyd? And I think Conor would be a lot more competitive in that fight. Again, we've seen Conor in rematches be way better than what he did the first time, which is why I would give him a solid and a way better chance against Khabib the second time around.
Sure.
You know? Like, it's the same thing. When he's rematching guys, he's beaten them. He has, like, when he's gotten to fight somebody he's lost to once, in the few times that you can count on one hand where he's lost, he's avenged it. Mm-hmm. Every loss he's had, he's avenged. Except Khabib. Yeah. And that might be the exception.
So do you think that realistically there's even a fucking, just in terms of, like, logistically, can they, because let's say he's going to fight Masvidal, fight Khabib, and then Mayweather for the rest of the year? That's a hectic schedule, my man. And also, you need for all, like, Masvidal and Khabib to go perfectly, kind of almost, for you to set up the Mayweather fight.
For sure.
Because what if he loses to Masvidal and Khabib? Do you think the Mayweather fight will
Well, if he
still be
loses
there?
to both, I think that would be dangerous. If he loses one fight, go fight Floyd and restock that cupboard again. Like, don't lose twice in the octagon.
That's what I'm saying. His stock is gonna go
But
down.
he's gonna fight Masvidal. He wants Masvidal to have the title if he wants to do it.
Yep.
He's not fighting Usman because Usman is a terrible matchup. Usman would just bully him.
Oh no, they were hating on each other on Twitter, right?
Usman's fight against him would be the worst fight to watch.
Don't do it.
And no one wants to watch that.
No,
No one wants to watch that. And Masvidal's a little bit upset. He was on the Ariel Helwani this Monday, and he was talking to obviously Ariel, and he was saying about talking about Conor, and he was like, oh, he didn't call me out after the fight, what's that all about? I'm not feeling that. Like, I'm not chasing fights. If this guy don't want to fight, then just, whatever. Just kind of, but you can tell his camp, they want that money fight. They want Masvidal to secure that bag. But Conor says he wants them to bring something to the table. And I think, whether that be money or a belt, I think Masvidal feels the same way. And I think he's got to go take out Usman. And he knows, because if he has a title and he has Usman and he fights Conor, even more money, first of all, than you would have if you just fought Conor normally. BMF belt on the line. I'm going
to tell you this. He's got to fight Conor first, though.
First?
Yeah.
You think what do you think about him versus Usman? What makes you think that? You think he's going to lose to Usman?
I think it's very likely that he might lose to Usman because, Usman's just...
He's got that
very durable,
traditional, like what we see with Khabib: take you down, grind you out, make your day miserable.
If anyone can beat Masvidal right now, I feel like Usman's pretty much got the recipe because of his style and his durability and everything. Like it's just a combination.
And if anyone's got the recipe to beat Usman, it's Tyron Woodley.
But we saw what happened.
No, that was a man off of his game.
I think so.
For me. Okay. I don't think that performance was indicative of anybody who was holding any championship, let alone holding it for the last 3 years.
I agree.
4 years prior to that.
It was shocking, but
I think mentally, it just never clicked. He did. Sometimes guys gonna get punched in the face before they wake up and they get into a fight. Yeah. He didn't show up.
No, I know.
Those times like James Harden goes and shoots fucking 3 for fucking 15 from 3, and he just didn't show up.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. I know that's one possibility. They might also just match up weird, you know? Because sometimes you just match up weird with people. So
I think Tyron would. The fight with Tyron would be completely different. I think it would be a very different fight if Tyron had mind right.
But Tyron has to make an argument for himself.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't seen him in a calendar year. It's been a very long time since that loss.
Isn't Usman injured right now, though?
Usman had a cast on his hand, on his thumb, actually. Good point to bring up. And yeah, man, I think Masvidal just waiting for anything. So
Masvidal is not gonna fucking wait for Usman, bro.
He's not. Unless, imagine if Conor if Usman was ruled out for a while. Imagine if there was an interim at 170.
I don't know.
I wouldn't care at all, bro. I'd be like interim that right now, bro. Then force Conor to fight Usman afterwards. See what's really good, bro. You want to fight in the 170 round? You better be able to beat all of them if you want to be the champion.
Yeah, don't get
all of them.
The bulked up 155ers. You know what I'm saying? Only.
Oh my God, Conor honestly might be able to wrestle better for a lesser amount of time now because of the size. Because it's power and technique, right? If he has the technique but he never has the cardio, what's a little bit more muscle? If you were going to gas out in the middle of the third round, what's the difference if you gas out at the end of the second round? You might as well be able to stuff more takedowns and go for more knockouts. And if you lose, you lose.
Right.
I don't know. Clearly he's not going to be able to get the cardio up to that level. Yeah, Let's be honest here.
I think so. I think you're right. And that's his kind of risk that he has to take, which...
He's like, let's just double down on the muscle.
Yeah. Let's try to be the strongest and the more explosive we can. So people can fucking take it. And we already know he has the precision and all that. So that's what he banks on. He's not... That's why I'm saying a Nate Diaz fight again would be on the back burner, for example. People that are saying Nate 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But...
When Nate tweeted, shit's all fake... This is all fake.
It is fake, I think.
That's hilarious. Did you think that there was rumors going around that the Cerrone fight was fixed? Did you hear that stuff?
The fucking stupid, man.
Oh my God, I was dying.
Who says that even?
This shit's all fake. It's oh my God. I'm like, don't kill
Yeah,
me.
what Cowboy got like a little extra money just to like
Take
pretend
the
like,
fall again. What you think Conor needs that? Like,
and they couldn't have like maybe stayed in a little. I don't know, like whatever, bro. That's
you don't
just
need to
ridiculous.
boost Conor
Yeah.
because the thing is that was one of their best. That was one of their best like their best nights ever as a company
Yeah.
on ESPN Plus. Like they made so much money off of that. Like Dana White was beaming afterwards in the post-fight press conference. So
Okay.
I
Well,
mean,
they
like,
sold out the arena super quick, I heard.
yeah, like that makes it's just Conor McGregor's name. You don't need to fix a fight.
But I felt, did you feel like a little less excitement than the usual Conor McGregor fight? I think someone was,
I think it was underwhelming because people hadn't seen him in so long compete, and you got to see 40 seconds of him.
and I think
It's a little bit disappointing when you don't get to see a lot of somebody.
And I think a lot of, I mean, he's obviously still got a lot of supporters, but I think a percentage of Irish people, they used to support him just like wholeheartedly, just on the basis he's the Irish guy and all that. I think they like kind of pulled back for a moment where they're like, okay, motherfucker, just show us what, give us one or two fights. We'll watch it from a distance, come back, like act right, and then we fucking hop back on board. So I'm saying now he acted very well, very respectably. I think he got a great win. So I think that definitely got his fucking kind of respect back a little bit with Irish people. And then I think if he does that again, like in one or more two fights and wins, I think potentially like setting up another Mayweather fight, if it's like early next year or whatever, could be even bigger than the previous fight. Hypothetically, there's a lot of variables, obviously, but
100%. Anyway, let us know down in the comments below. You know what's Conor's next steps. Where do you want to see him fighting? How do you think he'd fare against different guys in the 170, 155 division? Yeah, just engage with us. We'll engage with you, and we'll see you guys there.
all right.